The bed is really easy to fold down. So this is the lock. You just unlock it. Oh, before I do that, I always just push this back so it doesn't get in the way, and then we can fold it down once we bring the bed down. So I just kind of fold it out of the way like that, and then unlatch. So this would just fold over. These kind of have to go up. And then now you have your bed. And these go just back there as additional cushion space. So that's what the bed looks like. And you can absolutely drive with this down. But if you are bringing bicycles with you and you need the extra storage space, you just might want to leave it flipped up. But you still have all this space under here, even with the bed laying down, which is pretty cool. So to bring the bed back up, you would just take this cushion, fold it over, put this one back here. Then you just lift up on this. And lock it back. You have some storage areas here. You have a drawer here under your bed. You have some storage up top. The thing I love about these ones is you open it and it just sticks to the roof. So it's magnetized. So you don't have to hold the cabinet open. And then to close it, right above your bed, you will see your fire detector. Some of the lights in the RV are touch. So if they don't come on when you turn the light switch on, they're probably touch. More storage here, more storage over the sink. Drawer and storage under the sink. This is like a extra counter space, so it locks when you're in travel, and you can just, so you have some extra space. So your stove is a 2-burner stove and is propane powered. To light this, you would just set it on flame, push it in. Sorry, let me zoom in. Push it in and then push down on your igniter, which is this lightning bolt. And I don't think you can see the flame on camera, but you can see like the steam coming off. And then you can adjust how high or low you want the flame and then turn it off. So push in, turn it to the fire icon while you're holding this down on the flame. Push down on the lightning bolt to ignite it. And there's also instructions right here. Just make sure that this is not hot. If this is nice and cool, then you can lower this down because it is glass, and it'll break if you put it down while it's still hot. So we covered the kitchen area coming over to the side entrance here. So this is on the passenger side of the RV, your main entrance into the RV cabin. You will also see another insect screen that you can zip and unzip. And again, this is also Velcro, so you can completely remove it if you don't want to use it. Just a reminder on your coach battery, if you're not getting any power inside, first place you want to check is right here. Make sure somebody didn't accidentally turn this off. Second place is the campsite. Third place is your fuse box. You have some plugs here for charging, USB ports for charging. Your USB ports and your 110 outlets in the RV will not work unless you are plugged in. You can be plugged into a 30 amp or the 110, the house adapter plug, But if you are not plugged in and just driving, these will not charge anything. So you'll have to use the chargers in the driver's bay. You also have your fridge and freezer. This is just a lock to keep the door from opening while you're driving. You just push down to open. So you have a small fridge here, and then this is your freezer or your ice box up top. It is a 12-volt fridge, so as long as your house battery is full and charged, the fridge will stay cold. You have your carbon monoxide detector here. You have some more charging outlets and the 110 adapter there. This is just like an extra little storage space. And then you have your 2 back seats. If you happen to be bringing car seats and you need the car seats, they would have to be buckled in because unfortunately there's no anchors in these RVs. Right behind this you have your more storage, and then the most important part of the inside, which is your control panels. So LPG is your propane. Press and hold. We're at 2/3. Propane powers your stove, and it also powers your heat in the RV, because although this RV does not have AC, it does have heat. It also powers your hot water heater if you are not plugged in. So if you're plugged into a 30 amp connection, you won't be heating your water from propane. It would be off of your electric. If you're not plugged in, you need to take a shower or use the hot water, it's going to be feeding off your propane tank. So if it's chilly out and you're using the heater, and you look and you're at 1/3, but you still have a night or 2 left in the RV, you would want to go and get it refilled. Most U-Hauls, some campsites, they will offer the service. You can do just a simple Google search of RV propane fills near me. Just make sure you call the place ahead of time and ask them if they fill propane tanks on RVs, because it's not a replacement, it's a fill. And while we're on the topic of propane, your propane tank is on your passenger side. It's this yellow plug right here. So wherever you go to get it filled, they're gonna do all the work for you. You would just have to pull up to their big propane tank and pay whatever their fee is per gallon. But they will ask you where your propane is located, and again, it's on your passenger side of the RV, right here, right by this step. So the next button is battery. Press and hold on this. We're getting kind of low. If your battery is getting low, that's your house battery. What you would need to do is turn on the engine, crank up the RV, give it about 15 minutes, and this will help recharge your batteries. You do not want your house batteries to get too low, because there is a certain point when it gets too low that it's going to start to cause some issues for you. You just don't want to drain your house battery too low. So what you would do is just crank the engine, give it 15-20 minutes, come back and check, and it'll be charged back up. Your gray, just a reminder, this is your sink and shower waste, your gray waste, which we showed you how to dump on the outside. When this gets to 2/3, you definitely have to dump. And then your water pump. We're only turning our water pump on when we're using our storage water, our fresh water. When we have the water hose plugged in and we're using the water from the hose, the water pump goes off. Below your control panel here, you'll see your solar. This you will not need to mess with. There are no solar panels on the RV, so these are really just for decoration. LP just leave this on. This gives propane to everything that needs propane. So you would just leave this button on. If your stove's not working or you're having problems with the heat, make sure somebody didn't accidentally turn this off. Holding tank heaters, a lot of people get this confused and think this is their water heater. It is not. This is for wintertime use only, and we will instruct those customers who are renting in the wintertime when to turn this on, but you do not want to turn this on if it is not frigid temperatures. It keeps your waste tanks from freezing, so turning this on could be not good. Right above it here is your Truma system. So I'm just pushing in this circle here. You'll see a RV with a thermostat inside. This is to turn on the heat in the RV. So you click on the RV, it says off. If you needed heat, you would crank up the temperature to whatever you wanted to set your heater to, and then click on the temperature you want. Your heat will come out of these black round guys all in the RV cabin. So that's where your heat will come from in the RV. When you're done with the heater or you don't need the furnace on in the RV, you just click on the picture, scroll it all the way back down to off, click off. The next one is the thermostat in the water. So this is how you turn on your water heater. When you're ready to take a hot shower or you need to use hot water, you just take it to hot. There's a lot of other options, but hot is the only one you would need to use. So you would click on hot, give it about 15 to 20 minutes before you take a hot shower. Just give it time to heat up that water. Take a hot shower. Once you're done with your shower, or everybody's done with their showers, you would want to come back and turn it off. And the reason for that, if you leave the water heater on and it keeps trying to heat water that you're not using for an extended period of time, it will eventually burn the unit out, and then you might be stuck without hot water for the rest of your trip. So on the Truma one, we have our heat. This is where we turn on the heat for the RV, and then we have our water heater. This is where we turn on and off our water heater. Right next to it is where we check our levels on everything. LP should always be on, and these two will never touch. So continuing through the RV, you have your wet bath right here, your shower and your toilet. The door is kind of sticky, so you just kind of got to give it a little tug, and it does fold back, or you can just leave it open. You have your shower curtain here. It just buttons on, so if you want to take it off because you're not showering or it's kind of in the way, you can just unhook it from the button here. You have your shower head here. This is like a drying rack, so if you have wet clothes or towels, you can use this rod to hang them. If this is in your way while you're showering, you can just pull it up to take it off. So just pull it up, and you can take that in and out. Shower head, hot and cold water. And here is where you can keep your bathroom stuff. We put your toilet paper in there. RV friendly toilet paper only. It has to be RV friendly or marine friendly labeled, or it has to be a simple 1-ply toilet paper. That's the only things that can be flushed down the toilet. Otherwise you will definitely have some sewage issues. Right here you will see your enzymes. We include these. They're really just for the smell. They don't do anything special. So if it's been a while since you've been able to dump your toilet waste, what you would want to do is just pop the cap off, dump it in and give it a flush down the toilet, and it'll help with any odors. And we have overviewed the toilet and how to use that already. And this is your shower. And you can also shower with the door closed or open. Everything in here is waterproof, so it's totally safe and fine to have the door closed or leave it open. And this is your light switch for the